Gary Moore, the virtuoso guitarist from Belfast, left an indelible mark on the worlds of blues and rock. Known for his emotive playing and technical mastery, Moore's career spanned decades, from his early days with Skid Row and Thin Lizzy to his celebrated solo work. His music was a melting pot of influences, rooted in the blues but electrified by rock's intensity. This article explores 10 bands that shaped Moore's artistic vision, drawing from his interviews, covers, and musical collaborations. While the specifics of his favorites are subjective, these groups undeniably influenced his fiery style and soulful approach to the guitar. Fleetwood Mac Peter Green era, the blues catalyst. Before Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham transformed Fleetwood Mac into a pop-rock phenomenon, the band was a blues powerhouse led by Peter Green. Moore frequently cited Green as his greatest influence, calling him the reason I play guitar. Green's haunting vibrato and melancholic phrasing, epitomized in tracks like Albatross and Black Magic Woman, resonated deeply with Moore. Moore's rendition of Need Your Love So Bad, a Green-era staple, on his 1990 album Still Got the Blues, is a heartfelt tribute. Green's ability to convey raw emotion with minimal notes taught Moore the power of restraint, a lesson he carried into his own blues explorations. In interviews, Moore recalled being mesmerized by Green's tone, which he described as the sound of a man's soul. The Jimi Hendrix experience. Psychedelic blues revolution. Jimi Hendrix redefined what the electric guitar could achieve, blending blues, rock, and psychedelia into a seismic force. Moore admired Hendrix's fearless innovation, particularly his use of feedback and wah-wah pedals. Tracks like Voodoo Child, Slight Return, and Red House showcased Hendrix's blues roots while pushing boundaries. Moore's live performances often included Hendrix covers, such as Angel and Hey Joe, where he channeled Hendrix's explosive energy. In a 1993 interview, Moore stated, "Hendrix made the guitar sound like a living creature. He wasn't just playing, he was conjuring." This supernatural approach inspired Moore's own improvisational flair. Cream, the power trio pioneers. Eric Clapton's work with Cream left a lasting imprint on Moore. The band's blues-rock fusion, heard in Sunshine of Your Love and Crossroads, demonstrated Clapton's virtuosity and improvisational daring. Moore admired Cream's ability to balance technical prowess with raw emotion, a balance he sought in his own playing. Moore's cover of Politician from Cream's Wheels of Fire on his Blues Alive album paid homage to their gritty style. Clapton's phrasing and tone during his Cream years, particularly his use of the Gibson Les Paul and Marshall amps, directly influenced Moore's gear choices and sustained heavy sound. The Rolling Stones, blues purists turned rock icons. The Rolling Stones' early devotion to Chicago blues shaped Moore's understanding of the genre. Keith Richards' gritty riffs and Brian Jones' slide work on tracks like Little Red Rooster and Love in Vain underscored the Stones' blues authenticity. Moore often praised Mick Jagger's dedication to preserving blues traditions while evolving the sound. Moore's rendition of Walking the Dog, a Stones cover, during his Corridors of Power tours highlighted their shared love for blues simplicity. Richards' rhythm guitar approach also informed Moore's rhythmic precision, proving that less can be more. Led Zeppelin, the heavy blues architects. Jimmy Page's blend of folk, blues, and hard rock in Led Zeppelin captivated Moore. Tracks like Since I've Been Loving You, a blues ballad, and Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You showcased Page's dynamic range from delicate finger-picking to volcanic riffs. Moore admired Zeppelin's ability to amplify blues motifs into epic soundscapes. While Moore's style leaned more toward traditional blues, Zeppelin's influence is evident in his aggressive bends and use of minor pentatonic scales. His live performances often mirrored Page's dramatic stage presence, blending technical skill with theatricality. Thin Lizzy, Celtic rock brotherhood. Though Moore's tenure with Thin Lizzy was intermittent, the band's dual guitar harmonies and Phil Lynot's poetic lyricism left a profound mark. Tracks like Still in Love with You, featuring Moore's iconic solo, and Black Rose fused hard rock with Irish storytelling, a mix Moore revisited in his solo career. Moore credited Lynott with teaching him the importance of melody in rock. Their collaboration on Parisian Walkways, from Moore's solo album Back on the Streets, became a defining moment, blending Lynott's smoky vocals with Moore's soaring guitar. John Mayall and the Bluesbreakers. The British blues incubator. John Mayall's Bluesbreakers serve as a launch pad for guitar legends like Eric Clapton, Peter Green, and Mick Taylor. Moore revered the band's 1966 Beano album with Clapton, which set the standard for British blues. Green's work on A Hard Road further solidified Moore's admiration. Moore's phrasing and tone on tracks like Midnight Blues echo Green's contributions to Mayall's band. The Bluesbreakers' emphasis on improvisation and ensemble playing influenced Moore's live performances, where he often extended solos into emotive jams. The Beatles. Melodic revolutionaries. The Beatles' songwriting mastery impacted Moore's approach to composition. Though not a blues act, their harmonic creativity and studio experimentation, e.g., While My Guitar Gently Weeps, featuring Clapton, inspired Moore to weave melody into his blues rock framework. Moore's acoustic work, such as Over the Hills and Far Away, reflects the Beatles' folk influences. In interviews, he praised George Harrison's economical yet profound solos, a philosophy Moore adopted in his later years. Free. Soulful simplicity. Free's minimalist blues rock, epitomized by All Right Now and Wishing Well, resonated with Moore. Paul Rodgers' soulful vocals and Paul Kossoff's emotive guitar work emphasized feel over flash, a lesson Moore internalized. Moore's cover of Wishing Well on Blues for Greenie honored Kossoff's legacy. Kossoff's vibrato and use of space became a touchstone for Moore, reminding him that every note should mean something. The Yardbirds. Guitar Hero Genesis. The Yardbirds' lineup of guitar gods, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page, made them a cornerstone of 60s rock. Tracks like Heart Full of Soul, with Beck's sitar-like tones, and Shapes of Things showcased their innovation. Moore admired Beck's experimentation and Clapton's blues purity, both of which informed his eclectic style. The Yardbirds' willingness to experiment with psychedelia and ragas encouraged Moore to push beyond traditional blues boundaries. Gary Moore's musical DNA was woven from the threads of blues tradition and rock innovation. From Peter Green's soulful cries to Hendrix's otherworldly solos, these 10 bands provided the foundation for Moore's legendary career. His ability to honor his influences while forging a distinct path cemented his status as a guitar icon. As Moore once said, the blues is about truth. If you play it with honesty, it'll never let you down, a credo reflected in every note he played.